number 11, Boston Vanderveer, and number 32, missing one.
Reed Marks, number 32.
And who was the other one?
You've got them, Connor, Reed,
4.
Bo, and Boston. Oh, that's just 4.
Yeah, we need one more. We'll get it to you here shortly.
Tom Wood, number 21.
All right, number 21 for Park City, Tom Wood. So those will be our 5 starters for Park City. Starting for South Summit, they have 4 seniors: Stephen Flinders, Victor Thornton, Brad Richens, Bo Rydalch, and number 1, the junior, Brocken Santos. 2 of the top scorers in 2A and 3A come into this game. Boston Vanderveer for Park City averages 22 points a night for the Miners, and leading one of the top scorers in 2A, Bo Rydalch, scoring 23 points a game. So a couple of the top scorers in 2A and 3A coming to this court tonight, and so we expect big things from some big players and some good supporting cast, and should be an active, exciting ball game. As you look at these two teams, not a big height difference for either team, and both look like athletic, strong teams, so it ought to be a good matchup. Going for Park City, jumping off is Bo Story. He'll go against Bo Rydalch. So there's Story, Anderson, Marks, Wood, and Vanderveer, and Park City will start this game and control the tip. And number 32 for Park City, Marks, will handle the point for the Miners. Nice back cut to Vanderveer, and the first points of the ball game. Number 11, Boston Vanderveer, and he gets the first 2 points. Park City leads 2-0 as Stephen Flinders for the Wildcats. Top of the key will start the South Summit offense. He goes little jumper, Brocken Santos. Hard off the glass, no good. Fight for the rebound.
Connor
and number
Anderson
5, Connor Anderson with the rebound for the Miners. Park City out to a 2-0 lead, and Marks will pull it out and start the offense for the Miners.
Reed Marks is a recent move-in from Chicago. He's a sophomore and a good ball handler. Coach Fine's really excited to have him on the team.
Great. Always nice to get some move-ins, and Park City got some young guys out there, not all seniors. Vanderveer's a junior, Marks is a sophomore, and we'll get some other ages there, but for South Summit,
I think Tom Wood's a senior.
Yeah, so 4 seniors, 1 junior for South Summit as they get their second offensive possession. Tries to go up high on a lob, stolen away from Marks. Marks brings it out for Park City, and Vanderveer tries to go baseline. Shut down well there by Brad Richens. Kicks it out to Marks, and Park City trying to get inside. Underneath to number 14, Bo Story. It's knocked away, and Bo Rydalch comes down with it, and jumping on top. Oh, they're going to call a jump ball. Thought they were going to get 14 Story jumping on top of Rydalch. They call a jump ball. It'll be South Summit basketball on the possession turnover. Victor Thornton for the Wildcats. Well inbounds. 6:54 left in the first quarter, and South Summit trailing 2-0.
Cody, we're going to want to keep our eye on Boston and Bo Rydalch. Both of those players are special players. We've been watching them since they're sophomores.
Yeah, it ought to be a good matchup. As Stephen Flinders gets a nice lane, goes to the left-hand layup, unable to come down with it, gets his own rebound, misses another one, and Vanderveer for Park City will bring it out for the Miners. Vanderveer now going left, shut down well there. Nice defense by Santos, harassing the ball as they clear out to Marks. And now South Summit in a tight man-to-man defense. Ball knocked away, scramble for it as number 21, Wood, comes down with the loose ball. And Coach Fine from Park City calling a new play. Not liking that first set as Flinders closes out on Mark. Up top to number 5, Anderson, and Anderson over to Wood. To a three-pointer from Marks. It looks good right down the middle, and Park City out to a 5-0 lead. Nice shot. Good rotation there from the sophomore, and it's a 5-0 lead for the Miners. South Summit needs a good shot to get on this board. Haven't had a lot of good looks thus far, and so Santos going against his Park City defense. Going to Rydalch. Rydalch tries to back in, no good. Fight for the board. Vanderveer comes out for Park City, and Park City's on the run. Goes cross court over to Story. Story no good, and Rydalch comes down with the board. So Park City getting some good looks.
South Summit's not getting any second chance points. They're getting some shots up, but Park City's getting the rebounds.
There we go. Stephen Flinders with a nice three-pointer. It's a 5-3 lead for the Miners. The South Summit finally on the scoreboard. 5-3 lead. Now they come into a 1-2-2 zone press. Bo Rydalch at the top of that, trying to press on that sideline as now they sneak back into that man-to-man defense. Switching there to Marks goes Flinders. He kicks out. And ball scramble around from Anderson. Anderson tries to get around, goes up high, no good, crashes off the glass. Brad Richens with the big board, and they kick out to Flinders. South Summit can tie it with a two-pointer as Flinders goes left elbow. He drives, kicks out to Thornton. Thornton's got an 18-footer. It's up, no good. Little hard off the iron, and Vanderveer comes down with the rebound. Pretty quick tempoed game as Anderson takes a deep three. No good, and ball tipped over to Santos. Out quick to Rydalch, and Rydalch is going to be fouled by number 21, Tom Wood. Tom Wood on the foul. That's going to send Bo Rydalch to the free throw line. That'll be Wood's first foul and Park City's first team foul. Woo, take a breather.
Until this foul, it's been a pretty clean game so far.
And Bo Rydalch go to the free throw line. His first free throw is up and good. And Bo gets his first point of the night. It's a 4-5 deficit for South Summit. 4:27 left in this first quarter. Bo's done a nice job at the free throw line thus far this year. Nice soft touch. Both are up and good. It's a 5-5 tie as South Summit's run off 5 in a row after a 5-0 start for the Miners. And back out to this 1-2-2 zone press, three-quarter press for the Wildcats. They kick off to Wood. Now Wood tries to break, shut down there by Thornton. Clears up to Mark. Mark gets Flinders up in the air, drives in the lane, goes up with the left hand. Nice move there by Reed Marks. He's got 5 points on the night, and Flinders will bring it back for South Summit. 7-5 lead. Santos up hard, and Santos comes right back with a nice take off the glass. It's 7-7. Halfway through this first quarter, as Vanderveer over to Marks. Marks in the lane again. He kicks out to Story. And Story over to Boston Vanderveer. He tries to go right, gets in the lane. Nice high shot off, and he gets the nice roll. Goes in for Vanderveer, and it's a 9-7 lead for the Miners.
Cody, the Wildcats are going to have to cramp down in the paint. The Miners are getting good penetration and getting some good looks in there.
Yeah, they're getting too deep where they're able to dish and also get to the hole, as this time 14, Story for the Miners picks up his foul. That'll be the second team foul on Park City, first personal foul on Story. It's a 9-7 lead for the Miners. 3:30 left in this first quarter as number 1, Logan Hobrooks checks in for the Miners. Number 21, Tom Wood checking out, as well as number 25 for Park City. We'll get his name shortly. Number 25 for the Miners is Adam Hutt.
Logan's a young player. I think he's a junior, but his older brother played for the Miners a few years ago. He's a good little ball handler and a scrappy defender.
All right, so South Summit now will inbound. 3 across the front line. They go into Richens. He's got good position. Knocked away, but Rydalch there on the rebound. Gets the bucket. It's a 9-9 tie as Rydalch out to a good start. 4 in this quarter. And now back to the press, and they go from Hutt over to number 25. I'm trying to get that name again. That is Hutt. And I'm trying to keep these names. We don't have a program tonight. Bracken Santos. And South Summit gets their first lead of the night. It's 11-9. 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Both teams are pushing the tempo. That was a layup by Connor Anderson.
Yep. It's 11-11 again. So quick tempo, a lot of points in this first quarter.
The Wildcat press hasn't yielded any turnovers, but has picked the tempo up, and that's benefited both teams.
So Thornton, top of the key. He goes over to Santos, right wing to Flinders. He's looking down low. Nice move by Richens. Ball's knocked away. Nice defensive hands there by Connor Anderson. And now checking in for Park City, number 3, Sam Kingdon. And so Park City.
Sam was a starter last year, and he's coming off the bench today.
All right, Stephen Flinders will inbound for the Wildcats. He goes inside to Richens, and Bo Rydalch out deep, goes inside to Richens. Nice little jump hook from Richens, no good, and the rebound to number 25, Hutt. And Hutt will go over to Vanderveer. Brings it out, looking over this Wildcat defense, dribbles right, goes over to Kingdon, takes a three-pointer. It's no good. Up high, Brad Richens on the defensive board, kicks out to Flinders. Wildcats on the run. He's off the right-hand side, looking to try to get in the lane. Skips out to a wide-open Santos for 3. It's deep, no good, but the rebound. Rydalch inside. Nice job by Bo Rydalch, working hard on the offensive glass. He's got 2-3 offensive rebounds. There's a foul on number 3. Sam Kingdon.
Those offensive rebounds are going to help the Wildcats. They're getting a lot of shots put up, and they're just not falling yet in this first half. But the more Bo can be there for those rebounds, the more putbacks he'll get, and they'll be in good shape.
Great point as Flinders now will inbound to the junior. Ty Jones checking into the ball game for South Summit. They go up top to Bo Rydalch. He's going to pull up for a three. It's up, no good. Working hard, Ty Jones, no good. And Vanderveer with the nice defensive board, pushes hard. They come into number 32, Marks, is no good. Got a little bit under the rim, hit the bottom of it. And now a lot of press up on that ball as it's knocked out of bounds by the Miners. It'll be South Summit basketball.
Coach Fines working the ref. He thought that there was a foul on. Reed Marks got fouled on that layup attempt.
This game seems like it's unbelievably quick. I've been watching 11-year-old basketball all day, and it's about 5 times as fast as inbounding. And Santos going to step on the out-of-bounds line, trying to get the inbounds pass. Good pressure there.
This isn't junior
by
jazz,
number 1 Logan Holbrook. Nice pressure.
Game's tied with a minute and a half left in the first.
11-11, all square up as the scoring slowed down a bit. The tempo has not. Great quarter, 1:32 left in this quarter as Marks now will pass off to Story. Story tries to go low, good position for Vanderveer. Nice closure and help from South Summit, goes back to Story. 3-pointer, no good. And Flinders for South Summit comes down with the board. Good help defense from the Wildcats.
And Cody, that's what I'm saying with the Wildcats need to pack in the paint and prevent those easy shots from the Miners getting that penetration.
Not knowing a lot about Park City, but my guess is they'll probably give Story that 3-pointer a lot. But Bo Rydalch bangs the three. And Bo Rydalch now with a great first quarter. He's got 7, and it's a 3-point edge for the Wildcats at 14-11. And some pressure possibly. Ooh, they're going to call a foul. Good pressure there by Bracken Santos.
Bracken's aggressive defensively and offensively. He's really kind of single-handedly pushing the tempo for the Wildcats.
First team foul on the Wildcats, 3 on the Miners, and number 1, Logan Holbrook, will inbound for the Miners. And he'll come up top to Hutt. And Hutt guarded there by Thornton. Inside to Story, shuffled his feet, traveled. Good D again there by Bo Rydalch. Bo doing a good job. He's in the past, as he's younger, typically got into a little bit of foul trouble. He's done a much better job this year and had a great first quarter as Flinders now will bring it up and go to top of the key to Rydalch. Over to Santos. They skip. Wide open 3 from Bo. Get down. Short. No good. And Marks comes down with the defensive board, and he's got Holbrook up on the lane. No good. A nice pass from Marks as he saw the streaking Holbrook, unable to get it off the glass, but South Summit knocks it out on the defensive board.
And that rebound just rolled off of Bo Rydalch's fingers out of bounds. It'll be back to Park City. Park City substitutes. Reed Marks will get a little bit of a break, and Luke Carson will come in.
Carson in for the Miners. South Summit goes to a zone inbounds under the basket. They'll go up top to Hutt, who goes over to Carson, and Carson will pull it out, guarded there tightly by Stephen Flinders. Carson played a lot of minutes in the JV game earlier in the day, and he's getting some varsity time here as he passes off to Holbrook. Good tight man-to-man defense there by Ty Jones. Quick feet, back cut over to Vanderveer, tries to go up left hand, no good. Nice D there by Rydalch, and Flinders comes out with the break. He comes up as the buzzer's ringing, and it just rims out as Stephen Flinders comes off the glass. A great quarter, as you've seen. Good basketball between Park City and South Summit.
14-11, Wildcats lead.
At the end of 1, South Summit by 3, 14-11. We'll take a break. Getting a 2, South Summit leading 14-11 over the Park City Miners. First home game of the night. Thanks for joining, or first home game of the season. Thanks for joining us here at Wildcat Sports. Matt Nagel, Cody Bowen as Boston Vanderveer will bring it in for the Miners.
Miners are starting the second quarter with only 2 starters.
And they'll come up top to Carson dribble in there, switch on the D, goes over to Rydalch. He gets in trouble in the air, able to find Vanderveer. South Summit playing a good tight man-to-man as Vanderveer goes nicely to the hole, and he's going to get a blocking foul. He hits the bucket, and we'll go to the free throw line. That's going to be a foul on Brad Richens. That'll be his first personal foul. Second team foul on the Wildcats as Vanderveer went hard to the hole, laid it up soft, got a blocking foul, and he'll try to finish the three-point play.
In the first quarter, we saw a lot of Park City penetration, and then one time the Wildcats packed in and stopped it. They're going to have to shore that up in order to stop Vanderveer from scoring.
Almost a steal there from Holbrook. Nice job by Ty Jones to get the loose ball as they'll come up top to Bracken Santos. Santos goes over to Jones. And Jones now will dribble right, trying to get some help over to Flinders. And nice tight man-to-man as well here from the Miners. Boston trying to come up there on Rydalch, shut that pass down, but Flinders goes low, and Flinders is going to go to the free throw line. That's a foul on number 13.
Yeah, they're calling that a shot.
And Stephen Flinders will go to the line to shoot two. And Flinders with the three-pointer in that first quarter. His first free throw is up and good. Nice shot there by Stephen.
So what year is Flinders?
Flinders is a senior. So they got three seniors out there now. Rydalch, Richens, Flinders, and two juniors, Jones and Santos. And Flinders now, second shot. It's going to be just short, but rolls in. Nice touch there by Flinders. South Summit 4 for 4 from the free throw line. It's a 2-point lead.
South Summit's back in their full court trap. Got a hand on the ball and knocked it out of bounds, putting the pressure on the Park City guards to take care of the ball.
7:04 left, second quarter. And Holbrook for the Miners will inbound right in front of the South Summit bench. And sometimes a tough play to get that ball in, and they'll go up top to Anderson. Anderson will try to go low, reached around by Rydalch. Does a nice job. Tough break as Anderson looked like he got helped a little bit. He didn't have much to go, but there's going to be a foul on number 21, Jones. Ty Jones will pick up his first foul. And that's the third team foul on the Wildcats, and Connor Anderson for Park City will go to the free throw line.
Both teams are getting some substitutes about to go in there. Reed Marks will come back in, as will Sam Kingdon, and number 15 for the Wildcats.
Jason Griffin for the Wildcats, the junior, will come in and check in for Ty Jones as Anderson hits the first free throw. It's a 16-15 lead. It's been a tight ball game throughout as Anderson will try to tie it up with the second free throw. 6:58 left, second quarter. Miners and Wildcats. Another holiday classic as it's high off the rim. No good. Brad Richens comes down with the board. He'll kick off to Flinders. South Summit back on the offensive side. They go left wing to Richens. Trying to go up high. Nice pass to Rydalch. He's got good position. Bo Rydalch unable to convert. Fight for the rebound. It's going to stay with South Summit. Nice pass there over the top from Richens as Rydalch unable to finish, but Jason Griffin did a nice job of fighting for that board. It looks like they may overturn the call. We'll see. Nope, that'll stay here. Little discussion. Good job from the officials making sure they saw things correctly. And now inbounding as they go to Rydalch on the right baseline. He'll dribble up top and go to Flinders. Trying to go down low to Richens. Got good position. He backs out, goes to Stevens. Stevens dribbles right, kicks out, wide open three from Brad, and it's good. Brad Richens with the three, and South Summit goes up now by 3. Actually by 4. It should be 19-15. Scoreboard having a hard time catching up here as Park City now with Marks goes top of the key and over to Holbrook. Holbrook now up top, guarded closely by Santos. Marks does a nice job with that left hand, likes to go left, and ball's knocked away. It's stolen by Santos. Santos kicks out to Richens. Richens all alone. He finishes, and the foul is Brad Richens with 5 consecutive points. He'll go to the free throw line to finish the three-point play. Could put South Summit up by 7.
Cody,
it's Brad Richens. Nice job finishing.
It's a classic case of defense starting your offense.
Leading the offense.
Very aggressive defense on the perimeter from the Wildcats. They're really pressuring the ball, and they come up with a steal there and a layup, a three-point play potentially.
Timeout on the court. South Summit with the free throw can go up by 7. 5:59 left, second quarter. South Summit up by 6. All right, Brad Richens, number 10 at the free throw line for the Wildcats, coming out of the timeout. He finished a foul and a completion of the shot. He'll be able to put the Wildcats up by 7 if he can get the free throw, and he does. South Summit shot very well from the free throw line thus far. 5 for 5. It's the biggest lead of the game. South Summit up by 7, 22-15 with 5:55 left in this second quarter. South Summit back into pressure, and they get another turnover off the press. Consecutive turnovers leading to South Summit quick breaks. Down low to Rydalch, and it's going to be a jump ball. Good job there by Park City getting their hands on it, as Bo Rydalch had a hard time coming up with the ball. He brought it down. Park City hands tied him up. It'll be South Summit under the basket.
Wildcats doing a good job getting Bo the ball underneath the basket. He's getting a lot of, the defense collapses on him, but he's getting some fouls and some good opportunities for layups. Nice
block shot there by Park City on the inbounds play, as Richens had good space. Mark's trying to get into the lane, shut down there by Flinders. And now Kingdon will take the baseline jumper. It's short, nothing hit, and Santos. As South Summit's on the break, they got a 4-on-3 if they want it. They go baseline to Griffin. Griffin leans in, no good, and that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds.
I think Griffin was trying to get a charge call, and the refs just let it go, no call.
So, yeah, that's a tough one. Could have been a block, could have been a charge. Nothing was called. It'll be South Summit basketball. Baseline, and they'll go to the inbounds play. Flinders will inbound to Griffin. And Griffin now up top to Richens. They'll clear, and South Summit will start their offensive set. Done a good job last few possessions, South Summit have, maintaining the ball, no lack of turnovers. And Bo Rydalch's doing a good job on the offensive board again. Unfortunately, ball's knocked out of bounds. Santos tries to grab it.
Bo's
knocks it out of bounds. He is working hard on that offensive glass.
He's not getting all the breaks, but he's working hard. That's going to pay off over the course of the rest of the game.
5 minutes left, second quarter. South Summit's got their largest lead of the game by 7, 22-15. And Marks goes over to Kingdon. And a deep three, no good by Vanderveer.
I think the Miners are befuddled. They're not sure what to do. They get the ball across half court, but they're not getting set into an offense. That press has only gotten two turnovers, but it's kind of changed the tempo and put the Miners in a little bit of confusion.
All right, Santos over to Richens. And Richens will slow it up a bit. As you mentioned, it's been a quick tempo, so not a bad pass there by Santos. Tries to go cross court, and Anderson with the good hands comes up with the steal.
It's Connor Anderson playing linebacker.
Yeah, he looks like one, as he's a big, wide kid. They try to go down low, almost knocked away. Comes back to number 21 for Park City. Wood comes down, no good, and Rydalch again with a big board. He's got to have 5 or 6 already as Flinders kicks over to a wide-open Richens for 3. It's good! Brad Richens. Big quarter, and South Summit's now up to a 10-point lead with 4:06 left. South Summit now extending that lead to double digits. We'll be back with 4:06 left. South Summit up 25-15. Back to South Summit High School, 4:06 left in this second quarter. South Summit's gone on a nice little run, 9-0 run. It was 16-15. South Summit's rattled off 9 in a row. They're up by 10 with 4:06 left. They come back to this 1-2-2 press. As Matt mentions, kind of taking Park City out of what they want to do offensively. And we'll see if the Miners can get something rolling after the timeout. Now South Summit. Go ahead, Matt.
I think one thing that happens is the Miners use their best ball handlers to break the press, and then when it gets across half court, it's no longer in their hands, and they're leaving it up to their other players to make the plays.
And Marks does a nice job getting baseline. He'll kick over to Vanderveer with a wide open 3. It looks good from here, and it's right down the heart. Nice shot by Boston Vanderveer. I believe he's got 6 on the night. They've done a nice job of holding him up a little bit, but that was a good-looking shot as Flinders No good, but Griffin with the nice offensive board, unable to convert, had a good looks, got to get it high on the glass. Coach Hatch upset as Griffin had a great opportunity there and unable to convert as Vanderveer goes down to Marks. Marks tries getting in the lane, left no hand good, and Connor Anderson does a good job of
chasing it down there.
Chasing down the loose ball, gives Park City another possession. 3:05 left, second quarter, and Park City trying to work their way into a good shot as Kingdon over two, and we got a foul down low. A lot of bumping down as
this game's starting to get more aggressive on both sides, a little more physical, and the refs are going to have to decide how much they're going to call. There's been a few times where they've let things go, physical play, and now they called a bump on the off the ball there. It'll be interesting to see how this goes with the refs.
Jason Griffin got some good minutes in for the Wildcats. The senior Victor Thornton will check back in. It'll be Park City basketball underneath the basket, and they'll go up to Story. He tries getting in the lane, kicks out, and they'll go up top, and Marks will reset for the Miners. And Marks now guarded there closely by Flinders. The lefty Marks goes over to number 33, Carson, kicking over to Vanderveer. Trying to go down low to Story. Good post D there by Bo Rydalch. And back up top to Carson. Over to Story. And Marks now. Trying to go down low as they collapse hard on Vanderveer. Back out to Marks. And double dribble there by Marks. And you saw it again there. South Summit's clearly made an attempt that any time that Vanderveer, especially down that low block, they suck four on him quickly.
You know, Bracken Santos is kind of the unsung hero of this game so far. He's put a lot of pressure on Boston Vanderveer, and when he gets the ball, he's got to get rid of it right away, and he's caused a lot of havoc on the defensive end.
Brad Richens with another three. It's no good as they set up that three-pointer across court on a screen. Good shot, but it falls short, and Marks back for the Miners. Marks goes in the lane. He's met hard there by Thornton. Good job there by Thornton trying to cut him off just a hair late as Marks does a good job getting in the lane. It'll be a foul on Thornton. I believe that's his first personal.
I'm impressed with the adjustments the Wildcats have made defensively, finding out which of the Miners are making those penetrations and getting help defense to stop it.
And Marks will inbound to Story. Had a little trouble getting it in. Thornton all over him on the D. That's too tight. And he'll pick up consecutive fouls. Can't criticize the effort there, but the effectiveness needs to tone it down just a hair. That's a cheap one that really doesn't serve you much out that wide.
Yeah, I wonder if the intensity of the first half is going to come back to haunt the Wildcats in the second half if they have players in foul trouble.
Certainly can't do it. 16 fouls, so Park City will be in the bonus for these last 2 minutes of this first half. Santos now does a nice job. Vanderveer on the stop and the follow away. It's no good, and Santos comes down at the break. He goes to Richens. Richens in the lane to Flinders over to, great pass. And it's not handled well by Thornton, and Thornton loses the ball on the turnover to Vanderveer. 1:45 left, second quarter. South Summit continues to lead, up by 7 right now, 25-18. As Marks tries getting in the lane, and there's a foul as Marks done a good job getting in the lane. This time he gets a blocking foul, and the foul's going to be on number 11.
Marks is an aggressive player.
Flinders.
And over the course of a game, it's kind of an attrition thing. You drive in and drive in and drive in, and sometimes you lose it, but over the course of the game, you get a lot of fouls called, you make a few layups.
Marks really the catalyst of this Park City offense, as he uses that left hand well, and now he's shooting free throws. I thought he was a left-hander as much as he uses that left hand, but he's shooting free throws with the right hand.
Yeah,
so
he likes to cross over and drive left, but then I guess he writes with his right hand. He takes his math test with his right hand.
So good job handling the ball there for the sophomore. 32 Marks, misses both free throws. Tough break there for the Miners. They could use a couple of cheap ones. Unable to convert as South Summit comes back on the offensive end. They go on the give and go to Flinders, who now goes across to Zach Atkinson, the sophomore. Flinders with the three. Looks good, just short. Nice work on the glass there by Rydalch, but unable to bring it down. And Carson for Park City comes down with it and goes to Marks. Marks shut down there well by Zach Atkinson. They'll go up top to Story. And Story comes around to Vanderveer. And again, good D on Vanderveer. Kicks back out. Vanderveer trying to get something off the dribble. Flinders shuts it down, and Vanderveer pulls it back out.
So this is interesting now. Flinders is on Vanderveer as Santos takes a break on the bench.
It's good they have a couple of guys they can rotate because it's hard work trying to shut down a great scorer like Vanderveer. This time he gets in the lane, and nice shot there by Vanderveer. His whole possession as he kept the ball for 30 seconds trying to find a lane. Got the one he wanted, got the bucket, a much-needed bucket from the Miners. There's 38 seconds left in this ball game. South Summit up by 5, 25-20. And South Summit looks like they're happy to try to burn some clock here as it's down to 30 seconds. South Summit has extended their offense all the way out close to half court, and it looks like they may be trying to go for one shot, which is not a bad strategy right here. Go in at least by 5 on a tough Park City team. On a good half by both teams, South Summit here is able to hold on to a few-point lead these last few minutes, as now it's time to go as there's 9 seconds. Richens goes down to Atkinson. It's down to 6 seconds. Richens down low 2. Thornton out 2. Flinders wide open 3 at the buzzer. It's no good, and Bo Reynolds tries to tap it in and unable to convert. And with that, this first end comes to a close. South Summit leads 25-20. And Matt, been all we've expected out of a good couple of teams and a good first half.
It's been a good game to watch. There's been a lot of running, a lot of pushing it, a lot of aggressive play. The referees haven't interfered too much with the game. I think the Wildcats have to be happy taking a 5-point lead into the half, and both teams will go try to make some adjustments, see what they can do.
Brad Richens had a great second quarter for the Wildcats as he scored 9 of the 11 points for the Wildcats. Stephen Flinders added a couple other free throws as South Summit does a good job of starting to get a little bit of a lead as they go into this third quarter.
I'm certain that both teams came into this game focused on the main player. I'm sure the Miners were trying to get ready for Bo Reydalch, and the Wildcats were trying to get ready for Boston Vanderveer, and neither of those players have really been the focus. So they'll go into the halftime talking about Reed Marks and talking about Brad from the Wildcats and figuring out how to shut them down.
Yep, always interesting and fun to see what kind of adjustments they make. We'll take a few-minute break here as you enjoy South Summit cheerleaders out providing some halftime entertainment. We'll be back with a couple minutes left to go. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're at halftime. South Summit 25-20 lead over the Park City Miners. We'll take a break. 1:41 left in this halftime. Both teams come out playing well. Leading scorers for the half, Brad Richens led South Summit with 9, Bo Rideouts with 7, Stephen Flinders with 5, and Bracken Santos with 4. Leading Park City is Boston Vanderveer with 11, Marks with 5, and Connor Anderson with 4. And it's a 25-20 lead for the Wildcats. And a fun, exciting game for this community to try to get something going today. And we'll see how things go this second half as South Summit is up by 5.
Yeah, both teams have a lot of players involved in the scoring, and I think that run-and-gun tempo is the reason for that. You never know who's going to be breaking out for a fast break catch or a putback, and it's hard to really put the focus on one player that way.
Absolutely. It's been a good team effort on both sides. As we look over the rankings early on in this season, leading 2A and one of the top teams in the whole state, ranked number 4th in the whole state, 1A through 5A, is Wasatch Academy, coming off a big championship win down in Vegas last week. They're going to be hard to beat in 2A as they're 9-0 and all against big schools in big tournaments, and so they're going to do well. 9-0, Gunnison right behind them as those two battled it out for the state championship last year. They're at 7-0. Enterprise is 7-4 at number 3. South Summit ranked number 4 at 4-4, and Emory, a tough team, will be back at 7-2, ranked number 5 in the 3A rankings. Pineview at 8-2, number 1. Juan Diego 7-1 at the second ranking. Payson followed by Snow Canyon and Dixie. So some good teams early on in this year. South Summit, one of them. Park City going to battle as well in their region. And so look forward to a good 16 minutes of second half basketball.
Cody, I'm anxious to see what happens with this press, if the Wildcats stay with it and if the Miners have made a halftime adjustment to beat it.
Start of the third quarter, it'll be Park City basketball as we switch ends of the court. It's a 5-point lead for the Wildcats, and Marks for the Miners will get this third quarter underway as this tight man-to-man for South Summit as they go cross-court over to Marks. Marks trying to find his way to go inside, nothing there, and they go top to Vanderveer. Guarded there closely by Santos, and Santos will get him to get rid of the ball over to number 21, Wood.
Tom Wood.
And Wood goes left, ball knocked away. Good job there by Story. Story puts it up, misses it twice, gets a third one, tries the left hand, no good, and finally Bracken Santos. The Story had 3 good looks, unable to convert. And Brad Richens will come out with a 3. It's no good, and Vanderveer for the Miners.
That's Brad's second heat check of the game. He hit a few right away, and now he's continuing to take those pretty hasty shots, I think.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Probably could get that one anytime, and we'll see if they try to work it in a little harder as Marks now with 1 minute left gone in this third quarter. 7 minutes. No scoring in this third quarter yet as Vanderveer trying to work hard to get that ball, and he does on the left wing.
They tried to run the same back-cut play they started the game with, and South Summit sniffed it out and prevented it.
Vanderveer tries to get in the lane. Good job. Gets help there from Rideouts as they come inside to Wood, and ball's knocked away by Flinders. Good help defense on the baseline from Steven. It'll be Park City basketball.
Those Wildcats are like magnets to Boston Vanderveer. When he gets the ball, he's got 2 or 3 white jerseys surrounding him real quick.
So Marks for the Miners will inbounds, having a hard time as they get the count high, and Bo Rideout steals it away, and they go to Flinders. And Flinders up the center of the court, goes over to Santos with a deep 3. It's short, no good, and ball goes right to Anderson for the Miners. That's 2 consecutive quick 3-pointers, and Vanderveer gets in the lane, and he's fouled and will go to the free throw line. So Vanderveer starting the third quarter off well as he finishes a hard take to the lane, and he'll get a free throw. It's a 25-22 lead, and Vanderveer now with 13.
That Reed Marks sure likes to push the ball, and with the Wildcats pushing the tempo on their end, this game's turned into a lot of layups.
All right, Rideouts goes on a quick out to Santos, who goes down low to Richens, and Richens gets his first bucket of the second half, and it's a 27-22 lead. And here's South Summit back in that zone press, three-quarter press, and Park City able to bring it across, go inside to Story. Good job on the defense by Rideouts, forcing Story on a tough shot again, goes too high off the glass, and South Summit is back, and a silly turnover there by Flinders, darn it. Kind of lost his way on the pass and tried to shuffle back to Richens, who hadn't made it across the half-court line again. Turnover to the Wildcats. It'll be Park City basketball. 6:04 left in this third period. South Summit clinging to a 5-point lead. They've led between 5 and 10 for about the last 6-7 minutes of this ball game. Story goes over to Vanderveer. Down low to Story again. Got good position again. Unable to convert. Marks comes in, but Victor Thornton.
That's the third possession in a row where Story has missed layups right underneath the basket.
Yeah, he's had a lot of good looks. And Richens tries to go in the lane. He's going to be fouled. Looks like by Vanderveer. And we'll see what foul that is on Vanderveer. It's the first team foul.
You know, as Story has missed those layups, the Wildcats have done a good job of corralling the rebound and getting the possession back.
Up top to Rideout. He takes the three. It's no good. And a fight for the board, and Brad Richens knocks it out of bounds. So South Summit settling for some three-pointers here that were able to hit a couple in that first half, but falling a little bit short in this second half. Back into this press as Marks now tries to find someone and goes over to Wood. Wood crossed the half-court line to Anderson. Anderson dribbles baseline, goes inside. Ball's knocked away, and Richens fighting hard for the ball, unable to get it. It goes to Wood. He's into the lane, hard contact, and no call made as Flinders comes down with it, and he's into the front court. He'll dish back to Rideout.
I think both coaches were upset with that no call. One wanted the block, the other wanted the charge.
It was a lot of contact to have a no call. And so these teams are back at it on the offensive side for South Summit. 5 minutes left in this third period. 5-point lead as Bracken Santos goes hard. He crosses over to Richens. And Stephen Flinders into the lane. Nice little runner. Good shot there by Flinders. And South Summit now up by 7, 29-22.
Bo Rideout just calling for the ball on offense. He's getting anxious to get work in here.
Yeah, he can get frustrated a little. Hopefully he's been able to get himself going offensively, and that'll be a jump ball, and it'll be South Summit basketball.
And it looks like the adjustment the Miners have made is to get that ball to break the press real quick and then get it right down to the block to Bo Story. But Bo just hasn't handled the ball very well. They're getting it into him in good position, in good scoring position, and then he just hasn't converted.
And Flinders will cross the court over to Rideout and up to Santos. Santos again in the lane. Down low to Richens. And he had a hard time getting it as he brought the ball down, and Park City gets a hand on it, and they'll knock it out of bounds. 4:26 left, third quarter. Coach Hatch calling the play as Flinders will inbound.
Santos is really running the Wildcats offense right now. He's handling the ball well, making a lot of passes to players in scoring position.
And Rideout got a good look down on that low block. Just a little hard on the shot. It bounces hard off the iron. And Park City back on as Vanderveer tries to go baseline, shut down by Santos, and Kingdon airball, no good, but Anderson does a good job of getting the loose ball.
Kingdon's come in to replace Story to be the tall guy in the post.
So Marks goes into the lane and kicks it back out. South Summit trying to keep them from preventing inside of that key as they've tried multiple times, as you mentioned, to get the ball down low. Vanderveer on nice position, but Santos comes up over the top and knocks the ball out of bounds. Halfway through this third quarter, South Summit's now extended the lead to 7, 29-22.
Santos is flying all over the place, offensively and defensively.
Wood has his shot blocked and knocked out of bounds by Richens. As Wood's gotten a lot of looks down low as well, unable to convert. Park City just scored one bucket in this half, a Vanderveer shot. And they're both teams struggling a little bit. Only 6 total points scored as Wood tries to go hard to get good and still misses the shot. Had a great look, and in a frustration foul, he picks up a cheap one down low.
That layup looked pretty good, and then it just rolled out there at the end, and I think you're right. It was frustration that he just wanted to grab something.
3:41 left. That's the second team foul on Park City. It'll be South Summit basketball. South Summit's avoided a lot of bullets here with a lot of good looks from Park City. They're not going to miss them all night as they need to try to get the way to shut down that lane where those short shots have been going well. Oh, and Rideout's tried to finish again. He's getting a little frustrated as he has a great look, unable to convert. Tough scoring here early in this third quarter. And now Wood will try to go down low to Anderson. Good position. He gets up big, and Thornton gets up just a little bit, slides into Anderson, who did a nice pump fake, got Thornton just off his feet a bit. He'll pick up the foul.
I'd like to see the Wildcats go to Bo Rideout in the high post there again and let him pass out of it. I think a lot of good things happen when they bring the defense out away from the basket. It clears a lot of things up, and he's making good passes from that point. We'll see if they go back to that offensive scheme.
Ty Jones checks in for the Wildcats for Victor Thornton as Victor picks up his third foul. And now Kingdon tries to go low to Vanderveer. Nice move by Vanderveer, but it's no good. Bo Rideout's with a nice, strong rebound. and he throws a baseball pass down deep to Santos, and Santos gets a foul from Wood. Blocking foul. It'll be the third team foul on the Miners.
There's more defense creating offense. Boston missed that shot because he knew Rydalch was there and he adjusted it, and then Rydalch was right there for the rebound and like you say, threw a strike, a Peyton Manning, Drew Brees kind of pass down the way.
He threw it 2/3 the length of the court on a line, and checking in for the Miners is number 33, Carson. And Carson checks in for Wood. They go to Richens on a three. It's no good. Fight for the board, and Hutt comes down for it for the Miners as he's checked in as well. And Vanderveer will bring it across. He goes on a give and go to Kingdon. Nice look in the lane. No good.
There's
and another great look. Yeah, there's something going on. Park City's getting a lot of good looks. And it'll be a timeout on the court, just a 30. And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. South Summit leading 29-22. Only 6 total points from both teams in almost over 5 minutes of play in this third quarter. South Summit's made 2 buckets and Park City's got 1.
And it hasn't been for lack of opportunities. They've just missed the shots they've taken.
Lots of good shots on both ends. Rydalch's got good position down low and a reach around by Kingdon. And he doesn't like it, but it'll be a foul. It'll be the 4th team foul on Park City. And Kingdon now picks up a pretty tacky foul as well. Flinders will inbounds for the Wildcats. They go into Richens, and Richens gets a bucket on a nice inbound play from the Wildcats. And it's now a 9-point lead and back into the press for the Wildcats. They go cross court, and Jones meets Carson over there. Cross court over to Marks. Now South Summit settles back into their man-to-man. Flinders guarding the ball. He's trying to go on the back door to Vanderveer, and Vanderveer is going to get bumped by Rydalch. Nice back cut and a good pass from Marks.
They got to the foul just in time to prevent an easy layup from Sam Kingdon.
All right, Marks will inbound for the Miners. And they go over to Carson, had good position, chose to take it back out. Kingdon takes the jumper. It's up and good, and Kingdon breaks off that lid for the Miners. They get their second bucket of the quarter. It's a 31-24 lead for the Wildcats as Santos goes hard to the lane. It's no good, and Kingdon comes down with the board. Scrap there underneath as Vanderveer clears it for the Miners. Another
Wildcats waste no time getting it down there.
And there's a charge foul on Vanderveer as Brad Richens was planted right in the center of the key. Vanderveer went in hard. A lot of contact. This time they'll get him with the offensive foul, and that'll be a turnover to the Wildcats. 1:49 left, third quarter. South Summit up by 7, 31-24. That's got to be probably 3 on Vanderveer, 2 or 3. We'll check on it, but 5 team fouls on the Miners, and they're getting close to that penalty already.
It's a lot of fun watching all the guards from both teams, just playing really aggressive, going to the hole, not settling for outside looks.
Santos gets the travel as he kind of took a big hop and brought the ball up high. Had a nice shot, converted, but they call him on a travel.
That's a playground move. Refs have never seen it, I don't think.
So a 1-2-2 press again for the Wildcats. And Carson will go to the center of the court to Vanderveer, who kicks off to Holbrook, who's checked into the game, and they'll get a tight Bach foul. Looks like on Ty Jones. So looks like these officials trying to rein the game in a little bit, getting pretty tight on the foul calls.
We're still waiting for the Wildcats to find Bo Rydalch. He's offensive. He's working hard defensively. He's rebounding really well, but offensively he's just not getting a lot of touches.
It's gone 2 quarters here without scoring, and it's amazing understanding that the South Summit still leads by 7 because he is a big bulk of the South Summit scoring, so that's a big compliment to these other Wildcats as Brad Richens has had a great game as well as Stephen Flinders, and they're the only 2 players that have scored in the second or third quarters, and it's been low scoring in these last 2 quarters as Richens now with 1 minute left in this ball game, 1:10 now.
Third quarter.
Third quarter in this ball game as we go to close to the fourth with South Summit up 7. Flinders over to Santos. And up to Richens. Back out to Santos. Ball knocked around a little bit and stolen away. Great job by Carson. And Vanderveer with an easy bucket. Good job there by Carson on the steal. Led to an easy bucket. And that's the way you get some good scoring, is get some easy defensive buckets. And Flinders into the lane. No good. And up to Richens, yes, and Brad Richens on an offensive putback.
Still very physical, and the refs are just letting a lot of stuff go.
33-26 lead for the Wildcats. Stolen away, knocked away by Richens, picked up by Flinders. And pace is picked up here a bit in these last couple of possessions. Over to Flinders. Now they're going to go for one shot. With 20 seconds left in this quarter, Santos kicks out to Jones, and up top to Flinders. Flinders holding patiently as we're down to 10 seconds. It's go time now on this possession. 7 seconds, they cross court to Richens on a three, no good. Fight for the board as Jones tries to come down with it. It's knocked away by Rydalch. 0.8 seconds left, and Park City will have one chance to catch and heave as this third quarter has less than a second left. Low scoring quarter. South Summit.
It's strange, it's low scoring, but it's frenetic at the same time.
And a big long touch, and Rydalch catches, fires it up, and it hits the back of the iron. We're through 3 quarters of play. South Summit outscores Park City by a bucket. They extend a 5-point lead to a 7-point lead with 8 minutes left in this ball game. South Summit leads 33-26. One quarter ball game left. South Summit High School between Park City and South Summit. 33-26 lead for the Wildcats. It'll be Park City basketball as they had a tough offensive quarter, as both teams did.
It's hard to know what adjustments to make because both teams were getting a lot of the looks they wanted. They just weren't converting the opportunities.
Just basically got to say, hey, keep getting them. They'll fall as Holbrook now comes in and tries to get a back cut to Vanderveer. And the ball's knocked around, and it's going to go to South Summit. Good defense again there by Santos on Vanderveer. He tried back cut and almost had it. Santos able to regroup, knocks the ball loose. It's kicked out of bounds by the Miners. It'll be South Summit basketball. As Flinders now will go over to Jones. He goes hard to the lane, and Jones' ball knocked away by Carson, and back on the offensive end. Vanderveer's hammered. He tries to go up. We'll see if they get it on the shot or on the drive.
There's a couple big bodies colliding there, Boston and Bo. Those are big kids going full speed.
And they're going to give the foul to Stephen Flinders. And that'll send Vanderveer to the free throw line for 2 shots. And Vanderveer missed an earlier one on the opportunity for a 3-point play. This time he slides one in. A nice soft touch there by Boston Vanderveer. He's leading the scoring for the Miners. And it's a 6-point lead for South Summit.
We've seen the scoring go back and forth in this game, and little spurts for both teams. It'll be interesting to see which team gets the momentum and goes on a run. If it's the Miners, they could catch up. If it's the Wildcats, they could put it out of reach.
2 points for Boston Vanderveer. He cuts the lead 2-5 as Rydalch now kicks out to Ty Jones and up top to Santos. Nice look inside to Flinders. He tries getting in the lane. No calls. Ball's knocked away, and Vanderveer quickly on the break. And he finishes, Boston Vanderveer.
He started
coast
and
to
finished
coast.
that.
Yeah,
he started with the block. He grabbed the loose ball and took it straight down. It was a 1-on-4. He didn't wait for anybody and came up with a bucket and a foul.
Length of the court. Vanderveer very quick with the ball. as he quickly marched it down high off the glass, gets fouled, and so he goes back to again as he's scored now 4 consecutive for the Miners. Got a chance to go 5, and he hits it. 5 run off by Boston Vanderveer. Now it's a 2-point game, as you mentioned, Matt. A little run here, and Park City's doing the running right now as they've cut it to 2. South Summit got to work hard to get themselves a shot. Bo Rydalt's deep 3, no good, and it's taken away, and Vanderveer again quickly on the break. He goes left, goes up high, and he's fouled and goes to the free throw line again.
Just like an identical play there, Cody. I can't stress enough how much the refs are letting go. On a missed shot, the pushing and shoving, going up for those rebounds. It's a very physical game right now.
Boston Vanderveer taking over this 4th quarter, and South Summit wants a timeout. It's a tie ball game in Camas tonight. 6:54 left in the 4th quarter, and we'll see if Boston Vanderveer can take a lead for Park City. We'll take a break. .6:54 left, 4th quarter, as Boston Vanderveer has a chance to put Park City up for the first time since the 1st quarter. South Summit has led throughout. And Vanderveer's shot is right down the heart. Great shot there by Vanderveer as he rolls off 8 straight points. And now Park City has their first lead in quite some time as Flinders goes up. No good, and he's going to be fouled from behind. And it looks like Carson's going to pick up the foul.
Kind of a strange defensive thing there. I'm not sure if they had missed assignments or were switching or were trying to run a surprise trap or what, but Flinders went right around and got to the hole.
Stephen Flinders with the free throw. Free throws up and no good. That's the first free throw South Summit's missed this evening as they started off 5 for 5, and now they missed the first, and Stephen Flinders could tie the ball game up with his second free throw.
Both teams are packing it in on the rebounds. There's about, looks like 30 people under the rim after every shot, and it's just a free-for-all. Who's going to get it?
Misses both as Kingdon comes down with the loose ball, and it'll be Park City, a chance to extend their lead. They're up 1, and Carson travels. He got a little antsy with the feet. A lot of room he had, and he shuffles them before he puts the ball down. It'll be a turnover to the Wildcats.
He was surprised how open he was, didn't know what to do with it.
And they'll inbound to Flinders. As Coach Hatch trying to get a play called, the South Summit can get a good shot. They need a good shot, good high percentage shot. Slow things down as Park City's gone on a 9-0 run. And Brad Richens now will kick off to Santos, who goes left to Flinders on a left-handed layup. Good shot, unable to convert. Park City out on the break. And Connor with the layup, and he finishes. Good shot there by Connor, and now it's a 3-point lead.
That looks a lot like the same play where Santos was called for travel earlier in the game.
Didn't get quite as high a dribble there. That may have been the difference, and now Bo Rydaltz will go baseline. And he's going to be fouled by number 3, Kingdon. And that'll send Bo Rydaltz to the free throw line. They're in a 1-and-1. Both teams have 17 fouls, so they'll be in the bonus for the remaining 6 minutes. Bo Rydaltz could use a couple of free throws right here as he's been unable to score the last 2 quarters. And South Summit desperately needs some scoring from their leading scorer, averaging 23 points a game. He's got 7 on the night. He hit his first 2, and this one's good. Nice shot there by Rydaltz. And it's a 2-point deficit for the Wildcats. And Rydaltz gets his first point since a nice 7-point first quarter.
The effort from both teams to get the ball right up to the basket is really impressive. They're not settling for outside things. They're not they're not being shy about it. They're taking it to the hole very aggressively, both teams.
Two much needed free throws there from Bo Rydalch. It's a 1-point lead for Park City, and Marks kicks over top to Vanderveer. Vanderveer likes that left side, and he's trying to find a seam, and he's going to go hard. Baseline shut down well there by Flinders, and Kingdon takes a deep three. Goes up high on the glass, and a foul over the top from Luke Carson, and that's going to send Jason Griffin to the free throw line.
Griffin clearly had position, and I'm not sure what that was. Just a clear over the back. Even in a game that's as physical as this, some things are obvious.
And Carson will come out, played some good minutes for the Miners. And back into the ball game comes Anderson and Wood, and checking out is Kingdon. So Jason Griffin, nice shooter, lefty. Nice high arc, soft touch. We'll see if he can convert this first one. And it has a nice soft touch. Good job there by Jason.
The Wildcats have a size advantage at almost every position right now, but in this game as fast back and forth as it's going, it'll be interesting to see if that helps or if it hurts.
Soft touch there by Griffin. This one's a little deep, but big rebound goes to Richens on a putback. It's bouncing around, no good. And ball's knocked out by Rydalch. It's a tie ball game as Griffin goes 1 for 1. And we're at 5:37 left, and in essence, we're starting over with a 5-minute ball game as Park City closes the gap at the beginning of this third quarter on 8 consecutive points by Boston Vanderveer. And now it's a tie ball game. Some pressure put on by the Wildcats. Extends this offense for Park City out to the half court as Marks tries to work his way in to get this Miner offense going. Nice switch there by Richens. And Marks tries to get in the lane. He tries going underneath to Hutt, and he does. Nice pass and a good finish there by Adam Hutt checking into the ball game. Big bucket, 36-38 deficit for the Wildcats as Park City leads by 2. Flinders now, guarded closely by Marks, and he throws it away, but a gift there from Hutt as he didn't see it coming. Got his hands on the ball as Flinders just threw it up for grabs, and South Summit gets a break on the Hutt mishandle of the ball, and it'll be Flinders inbounding.
Suddenly the game's returned to that half-court pace that it started with.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. Sometimes it's frantic, other times it's slow-paced. Flinders goes baseline, kicks out to Richens on a three-pointer. Good! Brad Richens on a big three. And he's provided much of the scoring tonight for the Wildcats, and South Summit goes up by 1 again. Now Vanderveer's got a chance to go to the baseline. It's knocked away.
Lots of
nice help there by Griffin, and Bo Rydalch all alone as he's going through the key, decides to pull it up, and they go to Griffin's side, and Flinders pulls up from the three. It's no good. Fight for the board, and they're going to get
Bo Rydalch for an over the back. He just didn't have position. He's quite a bit taller than, is it Hutt?
Yep, Hutt. Adam Hutt.
Hutt just had position on that, and they grabbed it at the same time, but that's just how the rules of the game are written there.
Adam Hutt will go for a couple of big free throws. This starting to get down to crunch time. 4:23 left. South Summit holding on to a 1-point lead.
This game could come down to free throw conversion.
It could. Hutt's free throw is up and rims out. Ball fought for, and they're going to get Anderson on a push in the back. And that'll send Bo Rydalch to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus. And now Rydalch is 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. And so we'll see if he can convert a couple. 4:22 left. And this pace, probably much needed break for both teams with these free throws, as some of them have not come out of the game. I can see several for South Summit. Rydalch, Richens, Santos, I don't believe have come out of the game, and I think Flinders only for a minute. As Rydalch rims out, no good, and Hutt gets the rebound. Park City on the offense as they come back on the right side to Marks. And Marks now trying to find somebody on a backdoor cut. Vanderveer was guarded closely.
In a close game like this, a missed free throw is as good as a turnover.
It is. Another back cut, and Santos with the steal. Great job as they've tried to go to that backdoor several times.
Yeah, they converted it a couple times and lost the ball about 3.
Yeah, Santos has done a good job on that. As Flinders now up top, guarded closely by Marks. He tries turning the corner, pulls it out, goes elbow to Griffin. Griffin goes down low to Rydalch. Good position, and he's fouled by Story. And Bo Rydalch will go to the free throw line.
Bo's just too physical for Bo Story. You know, they're about the same height, but I think Rydalch is quite a bit bigger. And he's aggressive with it. He pivots into Bo Story and gets the foul.
So Bo Rydalch, 2 big free throws. First one is short, 2 consecutive free throws missed there from Rydalch. And like you said, this game very easily could come from the free throw line. And Rydalch is second. That one looks good, and it is. And now South Summit up by 2. Getting your money's worth tonight from South Summit and Park City. 40-38 lead for the Wildcats. 3:39 left in this ball game as Vanderveer trying to find somewhere on that right-hand side. They go to Story, top of the key, over to Wood. Wood trying to find Hutt down low, nothing there. Top over to Marks. Marks tries getting in the lane. He pump fakes, nothing there. Over to Wood. Wood goes baseline, met hard there by Bo Rydalch, but a great pass from Wood to Story. This time Story finishes the easy one, and it's a tie ball game on a nice drive and assist from Adam Wood. And we're all locked up at 40. Bo Rydalch spins into the lane. He's going to go hard, and he's fouled by Hutt. And again, Bo Rydalch will go to the free throw line.
See if he can convert these 2.
Bo Rydalch, you can see, feeling a little urgency, like he needs to get rolling, and his team needs him right here. 2 big free throws again.
Well, he's doing exactly what his role is, and he's an important player on this team, and he knows he's got to be aggressive in the fourth in a close game. He's got to make things happen, and if that means go to the free throw line, if other things aren't materializing, then that's what you do, and he's doing a great job of that.
He's got 4 points now from the free throw line, and he hits both. 5 now from the free throw line in this fourth quarter. He's got 12 overall. It's a 2-point lead for South Summit. 3 minutes left as Vanderveer walks slowly as he moves across the half-court line. Each possession now really counting large in this ball game as Vanderveer kicks off to Marks on a three-pointer. It's up, no good. Big defensive board there by Bo Rydalch. And South Summit wisely now slows the pace, minimize possessions here as Bo Rydalch goes right wing. Kicks up top to Santos. 2:37 left. South Summit trying to hold on to a 2-point lead. Nice look down low to Richens. They kick to a wide open Jason Griffin. Jason bangs a big 3. Griff.
Nails it.
And he hits a big shot. The junior comes in.
Park City needs a timeout here. They'll take one.
They call one as Griff from the low baseline bangs a high, easy 3. It's a full timeout. South Summit extends the lead back up to 5. It's 2:26 left. Join us here for the ending of this great ball game. On possibly the biggest bucket of the ball game thus far, Jason Griffin, the junior, coming in off the bench, bangs a big 3, extends the lead 45-40, 2:26 left. And Park City now needing a bucket as they'll check in the big Connor Anderson in this game on the next dead ball as Marks now goes to Wood. Wood up top to Vanderveer, and he's trying to make something happen. No good, and a big rebound by Brad Richens. As Vanderveer got a nice look, unable to convert off the glass. Now 2 minutes left. South Summit can probably afford to be very patient here as they go cross court to Bo Rydalch on the pass from Bracken Santos, and South Summit's back up to a 7-point lead.
Miners took some chances on defense there and got burned.
Rydalch now on a great assist from Santos as Park City now in a little bit of a hurry as they're down 7, 1:47 left. Marks goes into the lane. He kicks off to Wood on the jumper. Good shot. And a timeout now, 32nd. We'll keep it here as Marks did a nice job of creating on the drive, kicks it out to an open 8-footer from Wood. He drills it.
This game continues to be a back and forth spurts of 5, 7, 8 points, and the Wildcats took over there in the last minute or so, and now Park City's had a few good plays in a row. We'll see who gets the tempo.
The 5-point lead, and like you said, timeouts is coaching now, trying to assert some strategy as to what to do here. Both teams are in the bonus. South Summit's in the double bonus as there are 10 team fouls on the Miners. South Summit still with only 8 team fouls, which will put Park City still at a 1-1 for one more foul. So each possession now crucial. Certainly cannot turn the ball over. You've got to convert here by burning time. You got to get good shots, and if anything happens, you go to the free throw line or you make layups, just like what happened last time. Park City's going to go now to some full court pressure, full court man-to-man pressure, and they'll go over to Brad Richens, who goes over to Bracken Santos. Bracken now will work against Wood. Got to get the ball across, and he does. He goes high to Bo Reidalts. Bo Reidalts throws the ball away. Inadvertent, unneeded pass right there. Yeah. Couldn't think of the word I wanted there because there was no good word as he makes a tough pass cross court. And now just what Park City needed, turnover on a pretty short possession. They're down 5. Vanderveer gets some help there from Reidalts, has to give the ball up over to Wood. They go down low to Anderson. Anderson triple teamed, he's in trouble. Oh, they call a push. That's a bailout right there as they had him in pressure, and they're going to call a foul on Griffin. That's going to send Anderson to the free throw line on a 1-and-1.
Connor was trapped in no man's land, and I don't know if he fell or got bumped, but here he is shooting free throws. We'll see if he can convert to make points when the clock is stopped and you're behind. That's the way you play basketball.
He's a big boy to get bumped there, and first free throw is no good. Scramble for the ball, and Griffin comes down with the board.
Big rebound for the Wildcats.
1:15 left. South Summit has got to take care of the basketball. No turnovers. They go down to Reidalts. Reidalts leans in. Oh, and they call it off. Bo Reidalts leaned in, got the charging foul. Good job there by Park City getting set. Another turnover.
Tom Wood's a much smaller player, so it looks kind of, you almost don't notice him when Bo's going in strong like that.
Consecutive turnovers for South Summit. See if Park City can convert on this one. They still trail by 5. 1 minute left in this ball game, and Park City marks in some trouble, goes back door, and it's stolen away.
Again.
Stolen away on the back door. Timeout, South Summit. Coach Fine from Park City wanted a kick as it kind of hit Brad Richens' foot.
Yeah,
it's a tough call because it wasn't advertent. It did hit his foot.
I think Reed Marks is about 2 for 6 on that backdoor pass. They keep going after it, even though South Summit has done a good job defending it.
So 54 seconds left. It'll be South Summit basketball. They lead by 5. Both teams in the double bonus. So at some point, Park City's going to have to start deciding who they want to foul. My guess is they may try to burn a little time here and try to get the steal, but you probably can't allow more than maybe 10, 15 seconds to burn off this thing. It's at least a 2-possession ball game with
1 minute in a high school game is a lot shorter than it is in the pros.
Yeah, that's true. And so we'll see what the strategy here is coming out of the huddle for Coach Fine and the Park City Miners, deciding if he wants to start fouling quickly or if he wants to give his defense a chance for a few seconds to get a steal. And so South Summit now going to have to take care of the basketball, handle passes, don't take any ill-advised chances, and just make Park City have to foul you and win this thing from the free throw line. 54 seconds. Bo Reidalts will inbound right in front of the Park City bench. A stack look right here for South Summit as Park City's in full court pressure.
Wildcats have good free throw shooters on the floor, so they've got to feel confident.
And they get the ball in to Santos. Santos goes to Flinders. Flinders cross court over to Reidalts from Richens. Yes, they get the score. Bo Reidalts on a big bucket. 10 seconds burn.
Broke the press perfectly with passes instead of dribbling. That's beautiful.
It was a nice job by the Wildcats. Now with 37 seconds left, it's 7. Park City's got to heave a shot. Marks puts one up. It's no good. Richens with a big defensive board, and
Park
things
City's
looking
not
good.
fouling, which is
they're
interesting.
content to stay back, and they're down to 24 seconds. And Reidalts over to Griffin. Reidalts is going to put it up and scores again. That should do it. It's a 9-point lead, and South Summit's going to get a big win in this holiday classic between South Summit and Park City as Marks puts up a 3, and South Summit.
It's a nice shot, but it might be too little too late for the Park City Miners. Bo Reidalts has really owned this fourth quarter. He's been in the right place at the right time. He's converted his free throws. He's gotten to the line with aggressive moves, and he's really owned this fourth quarter.
He has. If you look at it, he's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points in this fourth quarter. He had 7 in the first, 9 in the fourth, as Brad Richens, Stephen Flinders carried a little bit of the load with Griffin on the offensive big three-pointer.
Most of the success the Miners have had has come in the running transition game with getting good layups and things, and in the last minutes of this fourth quarter, they just haven't seen it. Haven't gotten the steals and rebounds on the defensive end in order to get out running on the offensive end. They come down and dribble a lot and pass around the perimeter, but haven't had a very aggressive, as we saw earlier in the game.
Vanderveer went on a little stretch right there where he was unstoppable, getting fouled and shooting the ball. And since then, he's had a little bit harder time trying to convert, as Bracken Santos done a great job defensively, as well as Stephen Flinders at time. So it's been a well-rounded team effort here from South Summit, defensively, offensively, and have had a lot of contributors on each side of the ball. So we'll see now, 7 seconds left. Things have really got to go Park City's way here, as they'll probably get about 2 looks at the basket, which means they've got to bang 2 threes without much time coming off. They're going to have to foul immediately, as Santos and Flinders will work to try to get this ball in. They'll go to Griffin. Griffin will just hold and wait to get fouled, and Luke Carson will foul him. 2 seconds come off the clock. There are 5.7 seconds left. That's going to send Jason Griffin to the free throw line. In reality,
Griffin made that big three-pointer from the corner that really changed the momentum here at the end. It was kind of a back and forth until he hit that. It's been all South Summit ever since. We'll see if he can put the nail in the coffin right here from the free throw line.
Still a 2-possession game. It would have to be 2 quick ones. 1 free throw, you got to just think, I mean, it's tough anyway, but 1 free throw would certainly leave no doubt. Griffin's free throw is short, and he misses the front of that 2 big shot as they bring Richens and Rydalch, everybody off the key. They certainly don't want an over-the-back foul right there. So a nice coaching move there by Coach Hatch, as Jason Griffin's second free throw is good, and that will seal the deal, as these 5 seconds are going to roll off, and South Summit's going to get a big county win over big-time Park City, and South Summit will win the game 52-45 in the Wildcats. A hard-fought 7-point win, as things got a little scarce there for a minute. But South Summit able to endure the run and hold on to a well-earned win.
I hope both schools will keep this tradition going every year, a holiday home and home series. Every year it's been a good series to watch every year. They're always good games.
They're good competitive games, and it comes down to always the end generally. And so great job there by both teams, as Coach Fine brought a nice Park City team in there, and congratulations to Coach Hatch and his staff, as well as the South Summit boys. They come out with a 7-point win after a tough weekend last weekend up at Bear River, as they lost 3 in a row to some tough teams. They're back onto the winning track, 5-4 now, as they'll head into a game next week at Duchesne. And then following that, the region play will start off, and it's going to be a tough region with all 6 teams going to be competitive. So thanks for joining us tonight. I want to thank Matt Nagel. I basically threw him into the fire tonight, asked him to come along. It was fun. He offered a nice perspective for us, and you got a nice ball game tonight. So thank you for joining us. Brennan Gee, we appreciate his efforts, as well as All West and our internet connection. So nice job tonight for South Summit, as they get a big win at home, and they win 52-45. And so thanks for joining us. We'll have more home games in the future for you, so stay tuned to the website. And there'll be
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, and have a safe week, and we'll talk to you soon.